What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, there is no one who can deny that the news coming out about Marvel Studios, pretty much stemming all the way back to last October, has been a bunch of setbacks, cutbacks, delays, and the like. Some of it inside Marvel and Disney's control, some of it outside of their control with the recent strikes. But that doesn't mean that pre-development on future projects hasn't pushed forward. And where we suspected this summer at San Diego Comic-Con we were going to learn about some of those plans, we still have our fingers crossed for the strikes to resolve and us to get a huge live in-person presentation this year at D23 where they'll unveil said plans. In the meantime, there's been an official announcement incoming from none other than Doctor Strange himself about filming. That's right, Benedict Cumberbatch in his latest round of quotes revealed he'll be filming and for Marvel next year. Given how little we know about their production schedule though for 2024, there's 3 real likely franchises, one of them Doctor Strange 30, the other 2 we're going to get into. We're breaking down exactly what he said and what this means for the upcoming slate, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That would automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner, less than 3 weeks away to coincide with the finale of Secret Invasion. Again, all you got to do be a sub, leave a comment on this video if you want, stick around to the end of the video, we get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so let's get the quote exactly right. Benedict Cumberbatch was having a one-on-one for the JW3 speaker series I'm not familiar with, but watched the whole interview. It was a very good listen. They were talking a lot about consumerism, IP, and film. If you're interested in that, I would say check it out. Otherwise, he was asked point blank by the narrator what we would see him in again next. And he brought up a couple of roles he was playing, but he then said, outside of a couple of films, that the only thing he knew for sure, strikes aside, is that there were some Marvel capers filming next year. He used the word capers, plural, which made it sort of sound like he would be on set for multiple projects as they push deeper into the Multiverse saga. Now, because of the delays this year, not only to the current release slate, but for films upcoming like Avengers 5 and Avengers 6, we now know have been moved to 2026 and 2027, respectively, there were only so many things confirmed to be going into production next year, and again, this is strikes aside. Fantastic Four and Blade are both set for a 2025 release, which means that they would start filming next year. Now, I know it doesn't sound like it, and I don't expect that Fantastic Four and Blade will really have anything to do with each other. From everything we've heard from rumors, there's a good chance that the Fantastic Four might even come from a different part of the multiverse, and that Blade is going to be a very grounded story. However, they both could easily tie to Doctor Strange. We know last we saw Strange, he was taking off to the Dark Dimension with Clea in order to stop an incursion, and we suspect if the Fantastic Four is going to come from a different part of the multiverse, it will directly deal with incursions as well. Not to mention, by the time we get this deep in the Multiverse saga, all hell should be breaking loose. That said, you could easily see Doctor Strange intersecting the Fantastic Four at some critical part of that film or having a post-credit scene. As far as it connects to Blade, as long as Blade's origin story, as it's been rumored to be, does catch us up to present day, there is a team in the Midnight Suns that we're hearing more rumors about day by day now, looming on the horizon. It's pretty clear when they started introducing characters like Elsa Bloodstone that we would be headed down that path, and now we've got a majority of the members they would need for the team between Werewolf by Night, Doctor Strange, the Punisher. Keep in mind that the one time we've seen, heard Blade in the MCU was off screen for that comment asking Dane Whitman if he was ready. It tied to the Black Knight and the Supernatural already. They made sure to do the same exact thing with Elsa Bloodstone in Werewolf by Night. That easily ties to Doctor Strange, so that might be a likely place he shows up. But I actually think he might be referring to Doctor Strange 3. I think there's a likely possibility that behind the scenes, as we've heard about Shang-Chi 2 and Doctor Strange 3, they have been working on those films, and I think both would have featured heavily at this summer's Comic-Con. I'm not going to get too much into the specifics of the rant that I went on last night during my live stream, but I've said a lot about how Marvel Studios maybe didn't have exactly the right plan in place for how they transitioned from Phase 4 to Phase 5, and unfortunately, rest in peace Chadwick Boseman, when they decided not to recast T'Challa, they may have lost the one character they were going all in on as the point of view character like we had Tony Stark, and by extension Steve Rogers. Remember, Iron Man had 2 films before we even got to Avengers 1 in the Infinity Saga, when T'Challa probably was that character for Marvel Studios. If you know anything about Jonathan Hickman's 2015 Secret Wars run, which we expect them to draw from, T'Challa is the main protagonist. Without that character, there's really only a couple of options, and while I would argue Simu Liu's Shang-Chi has a great chance to be that character. He just hasn't had enough screen time or connection to the MCU for us to quote-unquote make him a point of view character. That being said, because they've gone so wide, it's made it even more difficult, meaning there's only so many options left. And so with Peter Parker really also having to deal with Sony and be a little more complicated there, and of course a bunch of new characters one after another being introduced in films and the subsequent post-credit scenes, really there's only so many characters who have roots as deep as Doctor Strange at this point. Of course Thor, but we saw what happened in Love and Thunder. There's a good chance they won't be rerouting him to a Thor 5 and before the end of Secret Wars, and unfortunately there's only so much screen time invested in these top characters. Doctor Strange is that character, and who can deny he had majority of Phase 4. He should have had a cameo in WandaVision, was a major part of Spider-Man No Way Home, was of course the biggest part of Multiverse of Madness outside of America Chavez, which leads me to my final point. There is one other project I could see him showing up for, and that's the Wong Academy that's been rumored for Disney+. Now, we've only heard a couple of updates about that, and I have to say, as far as what I know about the Marvel slate, what I've heard from my own sources as well as the industry insider rumor mill, that one is on the fringest of fringes. Unfortunately, I think they should make it a priority for two reasons. Number one, Wong deserves a show and would do killer as a lead. I would watch his episodes all day long. Number two, America Chavez is about to show up OPAF when she gets to the end of the Multiverse saga, and I think her character, not just Xochitl Gomez and how well she's cast for that character, but America Chavez, the character herself, even with her limited time in publishing, is a super interesting character, and I really want them to spend time with her and give her the sort of development she deserves so that when she does show up OP, make her story mean even that much more. I'm hoping since she exists in the Doctor Strange corner of the MCU, and because she showed up in Multiverse of Madness, I'm gonna get my wish there. But I think Marvel Studios has, unfortunately, because of how wide they've gone, how many characters they've brought in, and again, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. If T'Challa was the character they were gonna go with, they've just missed the point of view character they need, and I assume Doctor Strange may be that character. So, when we get to the end of the Multiverse saga, Kang, Dynasty, etc., there will be some poignant moments like the ending for Tony and Steve. Maybe I'm wrong, been wrong in the past, but I still am in for Doctor Strange 3 whenever they prioritize it, hopefully before Secret Wars. And tell me guys, what would you expect or want from that plot? There have been some rumors about what it would be early on, but unless the script's been in development, I would say those are rumors at best, and anything is on the table, including whatever they're going to do with the future of Clea going forward past the end of the Multiverse saga. Guys, as always, I'm all ears. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We are still giving away PlayStation 5s here at the channel. We'll continue to do so with major Marvel releases, either for the films or like the finale of Secret Invasion, which is in just 3 weeks. If you want to be entered to win, same rules will always apply to all the giveaways at the channel. All you have to do, hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, under the name Allfires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.